Lovely. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Let's Chat Derbyshire podcast. This is our pilot episode, so fingers crossed we'll make it all the way through, and things will be as good as we hope they are. I work in Derbyshire's public health, the mental health and suicide prevention team, and a bit about myself. Diagnosed with ADHD when I was 8, so it's been something I've lived with a long time, and I also tried to take my own life 6 years ago. Now, it's something that I don't mind talking about, and I'd never pressure anyone else to talk about it, but sometimes people just feel a sense of connection when I do discuss it, and hopefully it'll be something that I'll be able to talk to people about in future episodes. And today, in this pilot episode, we will be talking to you about what we've done to celebrate World Suicide Prevention Day, and also what we're doing going forwards around World Mental Health Day. I am excited to introduce you our guest, Vic. Vic, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Of course. And I am Dr. Victor Jagannathan, a research officer who works in both NHS and Derbyshire County Council. And I'm here today because I'm keen to learn about what's going on in terms of mental health across Derbyshire, in terms of our public health offerings, our NHS offerings, and our partner offerings. In fact, the whole offering. Just tell me all about it. I'm here to learn. And possibly a bit of tech support as we pilot today's podcast. So if you're able to hear this, that means I've done my job properly.
So, before we begin, something that hopefully you'll all like to get involved with, we just want to know how you're feeling out of 10. So, we'll be doing a post on our socials when this goes live. We'd love you to comment and just let us know before the podcast, how are you feeling out of 10? How's your day going? And what have you been up to? So, Vic, how are you feeling?
Oh, I'm looking at my dog right now. He wants to be with me, and that's always a nice feeling. But he's decided to sit just outside the room, like he's prepared to abandon me. So I am going to go with 7.5. Feeling 7.5.
That's good. That's good. I'm probably around an 8, I think. Feeling good. My dog's downstairs though, because I could not trust him to be up here. He would just get in the way. But fingers crossed this podcast goes okay, and it will get up to a 9. So, like I said, let us know how you're feeling, and I guess we can crack on.
Yeah, wonderful. So perhaps the first question that I have is, what is Derbyshire's public health, mental health and suicide prevention team, other than a very long name?
As a team, we cover Derbyshire County. We're also lucky enough to be able to do quite a lot in Derby City as well. We cover things like, we offer a lot of free training around mental health, suicide prevention, quality conversations. We run a lot of campaigns with partners, with people in communities. We offer free resources to be able to equip communities to be able to support themselves and others better. And really love to host some wellbeing sessions within communities with partners. And we also commission services like the suicide bereavement support, Mental, and other partners like that. All of the work we do is all focused around mental health, suicide prevention and neurodiversity. But it can have a wider remit, like supporting with the warm hubs and, other pieces of work like that.
And it sounds like you do a lot. So are you actually a big team, or is this all a description of a lot of partnership work within Derbyshire?
Yeah, as a core team, I think we're quite small. There's only 6 of us, to be able to support the whole of Derby and Derbyshire. But it's great that, I class us as a much bigger team because of all the partners we've got that support us. So whether that's, the fire service, yourselves within the NHS. We also commission the suicide prevention programme, which is in the NHS, and they support people with embedding suicide prevention within their organisation. And we've also got Everwash Voluntary Action, a mental health and suicide prevention worker there, which support grassroots organisations. So it's great, it's a real honour to be able to work with communities, to be able to work with people in those communities to learn about how we can support people better. Most of the resources and everything we do has the community at the heart of it, and a co-produced approach. So we try not to design anything or commission anything without speaking to communities first to know that it's the right fit for them. And we love hearing any feedback around what, communities may need.
All right, that's really interesting. And as we move forward to, over the last month, actually, you've been doing some excellent work about suicide prevention. So why don't you tell us what exactly has been going on?
Yeah, definitely. So we've been lucky enough to work with 6 amazing football clubs across the county. Each year we get to work with these clubs and other clubs to support them with suicide prevention and mental health, which include clubs like Glossop North End, Chesterfield FC, Belper Town, and a few more. And part of this work is being able to offer free training to people who work at the club, but also to attend some games and hand out information Z cards. What these cards are a trifold sort of leaflet that is about credit card size. It's got a picture of the club on the front, their fixtures on the back, and then in the middle is some lovely bits of information around suicide prevention and where to get mental health support from. We've been lucky enough to be able to do this for probably over 5 years now, and we get some real great feedback from when people attend the club.
So I'm actually having a look at one of your social media posts about these cards, and you can actually really see that it's got a lovely picture of just one of the footballers kicking a ball on the front of it, and at the back of it, you've got the upcoming fixtures, and you can tell it's clearly been a big collaborative approach because you've got people like the Samaritans listed on there, you've got our mental health lines written on there, and even on the back you've got Papyrus preventing young suicide mentioned on the back of it as well. So yeah, it's clearly taken some effort to produce these things. So I'm actually quite impressed.
Yeah, it's great. We work closely with Chesterfield FC, who support us in designing them and making them, and we work with each individual club to make sure they're happy with what content's in it. So yeah, it's great to be able to work with individual communities on stuff like this.
Right, and I am aware that we also have an audio clip from one of the fans describing their relationship with mental health and football. Shall we play that clip?
What friendships or community have you got from coming to the games?
Friendship coming into this ground is absolutely fantastic. It's unbelievable. And you can just turn around and speak to anybody and everybody will speak to you. And the friendship is never ending. And I've made lots and lots of friends here. And I'd live here if I could, but they won't let me stay.
Malcolm is one of the supporters from Chesterfield FC, and he also uses some of the services that the trust put on. And we were lucky enough though to speak to 16 amazing people at the club, and Malcolm is just one of them. So if you would like to hear from the others, there's a whole clip. Got to speak to people from the women's first team and other supporters around how football helps their mental health. So really hope that you like hearing what Malcolm's got to say.
Okay, so obviously with Suicide Prevention Day, you've been doing a lot of work with the football community. But what else has been going on across Derbyshire?
Yeah, we've also been lucky enough to host our own Baton of Hope event. Just a bit of context to this. So the Baton of Hope was started by Mike McCarthy. Some people may recognise the name from Sky. He was a journalist and did some local news bits as well. He unfortunately lost his son through suicide a few years ago. He started the Baton of Hope with a gentleman called Steve Phillips, who also lost his son. And what it designed to be was the biggest suicide prevention initiative in the UK. So they had a specially designed baton, which is gorgeous. If you go online, you can have a look at it. And what happened was it was carried by baton bearers all the way from Glasgow down to the Houses of Parliament. And we were lucky enough to be able to support in the Sheffield stop of that. It didn't stop in Derbyshire, so that's why we decided to host our own in Glossop on the 16th of September. And we were lucky enough to be joined by 20 different partners from across the county, including Mentel, the Fire Service, Glossop Arts, the Bureau, and other local services. And we put on our own sort of family fun day, just to inform people around what services are available. That is, it's okay to talk about suicide and, where you can get support if you need it.
Wonderful. And for those who don't know, what exactly is the Bureau?
So the Bureau are a brilliant little community charity which support members of the community in Glossop to be able to support their own needs and others. So whether it's around mental health, it could be getting online and using technology, and it's to support and link them to other services in Glossop. So if anyone in Glossop ever needs any support or advice, the Bureau is your sort of one-stop shop of where you can go. If anyone else lives in other areas of Derby and Derbyshire, just visit the Derby and Derbyshire Emotional Health and Wellbeing website, and you can find other services like the Bureau, but for your local area.
So I'm aware that there's so much more going on around World Suicide Prevention on that month, but we do have to move on with the podcast because you only have so many minutes to do this in. So if all goes to plan, we should have this podcast out on October the 10th, which is not a coincidence that we have timed ourselves with World Mental Health Day. And this year's theme is around anxiety. So, Luke, could you describe what anxiety is and sort of things you need to look out for that describes anxiety?
Yeah, definitely. So, as Vic said, in Derbyshire this year, our focus is anxiety. And anxiety could present in many different ways. So these are just a few, I guess, little tips to look out for in yourself or other people that could present around it. So you could start to feel tense. You could be more nervous than in the past around certain things, and it might be trickier for you to relax. The sense of dread as well may be apparent, or you may start to feel worse than you have done before. You could start to feel like the world's speeding up around you, or the complete opposite, that it's just slowing down and going like a snail's pace. You could feel like other people are watching you, that you're anxious, that people are constantly watching you or judging you, and that you don't really want to go out anymore. You can't stop worrying. Bad things may be happening to you. That's another sign. They may not be, but you could feel like that is happening. You can worry about anxiety itself. If you ever had a panic attack before, you may understand where I'm coming from with this one, but you'll be worrying about having another panic attack, and it may not happen again. It could just be a one-off thing, but that anxiety could eat up at you about having another one. And the feeling that you need lots of reassurance. So it could be reassurance from other people, from your friends, from your family, or just trying to reassure yourself that you're okay and stuff. And then you could be worrying that you're losing touch with reality, losing touch with yourself or other people. These, it isn't a complete list of things. This is only a snapshot of what is anxiety, but these are some common things that come out when someone is feeling anxious.
Thank you for sharing that. And it's important to share that anxiety is a normal emotion within us all, but sometimes it can get out of control and become a mental health problem. So, Luke, could you tell our audience how to access some of the resources and toolkits that we have within Derbyshire?
So to access these resources, we have online resources, which are our mental health, suicide prevention and neurodiversity for adults, children and professionals. We've also got physical resources, which can be used in communities. This could be wellbeing booklets, suicide prevention booklets, or little bits of information and support cards, which you can hand out to people. Just Google Let's Chat Derbyshire. It'll just take you to the Emotional Health and Wellbeing website where more information about this can be found.
So it's quite suitable that actually one of the most powerful tools for anxiety is chatting. Even more suitable because we're now on a podcast. Regarding conversations, Luke, could you tell us the key points of how to have a conversation, especially around topics like anxiety?
Yes, definitely. I'll give it my best shot anyway. So just having a conversation, we all do it day in, day out, but it's just important just to give some reminders and not overcomplicate the amazing power of a conversation. Start off to showing you're listening, showing that you want to talk and you're willing to listen to someone is a real big impact that you can have. If you start listening to someone, don't be judgmental. Just listen to them. You don't have to fix it. You're not going to be there as a professional to support them. You're just that listening ear, which is so powerful to someone. Being able to step up and make the move. Just ask someone, hey, how are you? How are you doing really? A lot of people, when you ask them how they are, will just say they're okay. So it's important just to follow it up and just check, so it'd be like, Vic, I know you said you're okay, but how are you doing really? And I think it's important if you just follow it up like that, then it can be really powerful. Just be patient. Some people might not want to open up straight away. It doesn't mean they don't want to talk to you. They just might not be ready to have that conversation yet. So being patient and be supportive to them. And then when they're ready, they'll be able to talk. And just be yourself as well. There's no point pretending to be someone else, because the likelihood if you know that someone is because of who you are as a person. So just be yourself. And the most important thing is to look after yourself. If you're struggling or if you're supporting someone else, make sure that you are able to talk to someone about it.
Thanks, Luke. That's really brilliant for you to share that information with us. And over the next few months, we'll be doing mini deep dives into various topics, well, we hope to as this podcast progresses. So coming up, we'll have conversations about our Let's Chat benches. We'll also hopefully be having conversations with some of our volunteers. And we'll also hopefully be doing a deep dive into the training that we offer. I myself have not done all the training, so it'll be a really good refresher course for me. And it'll be nice to just bounce ideas about what we thought about the training that's currently existing. And we have more planned in-depth interviews with various people, such as Mentel, an online mental health forum. We have HIV and mental health from Derbyshire Community Health Service. And we have so many other ones. And it's been so lovely to hear the amount of interest and the amount of people who have come forward to actually wanting to participate in this podcast. I'm sure you got some views on that, Luke.
Yeah, definitely. It's been great, the response we've had from people. Hopefully we'll be able to speak to some people to share their experience of, any mental health struggles, how they've overcome them, how they've supported other people. We'll be speaking to the likes of Bottled Up Blokes, which support men through football sessions and peer-to-peer support, and also another organisation which supports people through water-based activities. Just before we finish, I'd like to finish off just by offering some takeouts from today and the last few months. And I think it's important to share that there is hope and there is support out there. If you are struggling, visit the Derby and Derbyshire Emotional Health and Wellbeing website, and there's a vast array of different support available for you, your children, or anyone that you may know. It's important to just confirm that talking is key. We're doing it now, and it would be great for you to start a conversation today with someone, check in with a loved one, a friend or a colleague. And we need to continue the support. As a team, we'd love to carry on working with communities. So if your community wants to do an event with us, then drop us a DM on socials at DCCMHSP, and we'd love to connect on there. And engaging with your communities is key as well. So if you don't already, check out what's available in your community. That's everything for today. Thank you for listening to our pilot episode of Let's Chat Derbyshire. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and follow us on social media at DCCMHSP. We look forward to launching our next podcast. And if you want to get in touch with us, it's letschat@derbyshire.gov.uk. Thank you again. Take care. Stay safe.
Hi, this is Vic in the editing room, and just to say, I also want to say thank you for supporting us. It has been a technical uphill battle, but we got there in the end. As you stuck around to the end, here's an outtake that I think highlights the learning journey we've all been on. And I hope you join us next time on the next podcast of Let's Chat Derbyshire. We have to disconnect from Teams, but this is still going. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Sorry about this.
Can you hear me now?
Can't hear absolutely anything.
Now? Can you hear me now? You got to tell what
Can I
to
hear
do
now?
so I can do whatever I want.
What has happened? I wish I could hear this singing or talking. It's very disappointing. I can hear now. We're doing better.
You can hear me now.
I can hear you now. Yeah, thank you.